Today is Friday, August 1st. It's right around 12:15. Just pushed off from the slip at the Waukegan Marina. Gonna see if we can go north towards Kenosha, see how far we get today. Depends on how good the wind's going to see if we'll be able to make it that far north. We got to keep our eye on the weather radar as they're calling for the occasional afternoon thunderstorm, but right now it's clear, even though there looks like some cloud buildup, but there's nothing on the radar. It's 12:30. Got the sails up. We're on a close haul, heading on a bearing of 30 degrees magnetic. Once we clear this point up here, we'll be able to head direct to Kenosha. So it's 12:30. We got the sails up. We're headed on a bearing of about 30 degrees magnetic. We got to get past the last point here by Waukegan, where we can turn and head further north right into Kenosha. Should be a straight line. If the winds stay the way they are now, we'll be should be able to make it up to there in a couple hours. No, not a couple, maybe 3 or 4 hours. 12:35. A little bit of breeze. We're doing about 4.8 knots right now. At this rate, it'll take us less than 3 hours to get to the Kenosha area. It's about 12:50. Looking at the weather radar and right down over the Arlington Heights area, which is probably 15 miles south of us. The storm looks like it blew up from the radar. It looks like it's heading mainly east at this point, and we're heading north, so we should be okay. But we'll keep our eye on it. The Weather Service just issued a marine weather statement for thunderstorms and gusting winds to 30 knots between Winthrop Harbor and Michigan City, Indiana, from now to about 2:30. I think all that's going to be south of us. Still looks like there's a building south, but it's going south-southeast. So I think we should be good. We're out here with 2 other boats. We've got one right out there. We got this guy here. Zion over there. About 120. Just changed course from about 30 degrees to about 5 degrees. So that puts us on a beam reach now. Still doing about 4.5 to 4.7 knots. Still keeping our eye on the storm south, but looks like we're going to stay north of it. It's 1:40. We're beam of the Zion nuclear power plant. A little energized. Feeling a little energized from being so close to the power plant. Electricity here. Looks like we're doing okay with the storm. Still south, right? South. That's 2:05. We're about a beam of the North Point Marina in Winthrop. Winds are shifting around here a little bit. This is the furthest north I think we've been. Yeah, I don't think we've been this far north yet. It's 2:15. We got a course of about 355. That puts the wind directly behind us. So we're doing wing and wing. How fast are we going, Rich? 3.9 right now. Well, it's 2:25. We just crossed the border from Illinois into Wisconsin. It's the first time we've done that in the 3 seasons that we've had. Thanks, Dad. Smells a little like bratwurst up here. A little cheesy. And I got a faint hint of beer, but we'll see. I'm a little worried because Rich has been singing the Packers fight song in the last minute and a half. That's what Wisconsin looks like. .258, 4 miles from Kenosha. We're only doing about 3 knots. We wouldn't get there until about 4:20 at this rate. So maybe we'll go ahead, turn around, and head back towards Waukegan so we're not out here too late. If we were doing a few more knots, we could make it. Kind of slow right now. That's about 3:09. We just tacked, heading about due east, doing about 4.2 knots. Wind's off the nose if we head directly back to Waukegan. So we'll do this for a little bit and then tack back in and probably end up tacking back out. Wind has completely shifted since we left. We're about 5.2 knots. 5:15 or 3:15. We were able to go this fast downwind. We'd have made it to Kenosha. It's 3:45. We just completed a sail change. We took the Jenny down, put the work jib up. Looking at the wind speeds down in Waukegan, they're gusting to about 14 knots. That's a bit much for the jib or the Jenny. Looks like there's a storm cell just blew up west of Waukegan also, so we got to keep our eye on that. Hopefully it'll go past before we get that far south. Well, it's about 4:15. We're heading towards the North Point Marina, still in Wisconsin waters. We're going to get in a little bit closer, and then we're going to have to turn around and tack to go head back out. The wind is pretty much on the nose of where we want to be going. So we'll play this game for a couple more hours. 4:25, we tacked. We're heading at about 80 degrees now. Heading east again before we can tack again and head a little bit further south. We just tacked again, trying to point a little bit further south. But now we're heading towards the Zion power plant. Unless the wind shifts, we're going to have to do another tack. We'll see. Well, it's 5:40. We just dropped the jib, turned the engine on. The wind shifted. It was coming out of the south-southeast, and now it's coming directly out of the south. So that'd make it even harder for us to get back towards Waukegan. So we'll see if it keeps shifting. Maybe we can sail a little bit later. At 5:25, which was about 15 minutes ago, we crossed back into Illinois waters. Motoring into the waves. Well, at 6:30, we'll probably be in the marina in about an hour. But we're watching a big thunderstorm over Milwaukee heading south at about 15 miles an hour. So if you have a sailboat traveling south in 5 knots and a storm 25 miles behind it traveling at 15 miles an hour, at what point will the storm overtake the boat? We shall see. Well, we're just looking at the weather report. It's still about 6:32, and in New Berlin, Wisconsin, that storm is having 1-inch hail. So we're hoping we get back in before we get 1-inch hail. That would be better. Well, it's 6:40 and Rich is bagging the jib. See if he gets a little wet. Figure it'd be better to do it now than if we're in a thunderstorm. Well, it's 7 o'clock. About a mile, maybe a mile and a half. Maybe 1.5 miles. Looks like we might beat the storm. Well, it's about 7:20. We're just passing the Waukegan Channel, heading down towards the Waukegan Marina entrance. Looks like we're going to beat the storm in. Well, it's 7:25. Just pulling into the marina. Looks like we'll stay dry.